welcome back to the Biker Protocol channel. My name's Hollywood with Black Patch here in Las Vegas.
And I am Picasso with the Eagle Riders MC here in Las Vegas.
So, prospects. Do you guys give anything to the prospects, or you just say fend for yourself and good luck?
No, we do give stuff to our prospects.
Yeah.
I will share with you, though, is, there are some things that we can share on this channel. There are some things that we're not. And so prospects will learn during the prospecting process what you say and don't say to other people in other clubs, because there is some information that is just not shared. So in understanding that, it is very common for MC people, certainly 1%ers, to kind of put a prospect in check and see what they know and what they don't know and see if they're being coached properly. And one of the common things is they'll come up to a prospect and say, like, so how many people are in your club, right? And, they want to see if you're going to blab that. And the answer from the prospect should be, as it should from any member of a club, because it is club business, is that's club business and I don't share club business, okay? It could be a question like, how long has your club been around, That's club business and we don't share club business. So there are some things we can share, some things we can't.
Yeah.
But things about prospecting, I'm okay with sharing it from our club. I'm sure there's some things that you are comfortable with and not. But as far as what we give our prospects, that's not really a proprietary thing for us to a degree. So one of the things that we do with our prospects is the first thing that once they've been voted in as a prospect and they're now on the path of going through that process of prospecting for the club for however many months it is that we've determined, we do give them a few things. So one of the things we do give them is a set of patches. So now it is not the normal set of patches that club members wear. They have to earn that.
Yeah,
and
that's the whole point. Yeah,
it's the whole point. You're earning that, and it's also a gift from your club too. You don't own your own patches, but we do grant them to wear a certain set of patches. It doesn't have our back patch on it. It doesn't have our name on it. So there are some things we do. So like here's, for an example, one of our prospect cuts, right? So we hold this up, and you can see we put a prospect patch on it. Nothing else goes on that, right? We actually put a small patch on the front. This has our name on it, but that's it. Yeah. Nothing else goes on their cut. It's just strictly a prospect patch, and they wear that during their entire prospecting period. Okay. When they fully patch in, then they are given their full set, and it has all their name patch, any kind of rockers, the back patch, the top, all the different elements. Yeah. They get all of that then. But for while they're prospecting, all they get is a prospect patch, because from our point of view, that's their name is prospect. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
On that note, for us, we have a flash badge here that's just
so you
prospect.
Put it on the front. Okay.
Yeah. So our thoughts are, if someone's talking to them or sees them, they can instantly say, "Oh, he's a prospect."
Makes sense. Yeah.
And obviously the American flag, because we're proud Americans, and we'll do the bottom rocker. It says Las Vegas.
Actually, we do the American flag too. Now I think about it. Yeah.
And we'll do MC as well, just to. Usually when there's rockers, it's a motorcycle club, but I have seen car clubs sometimes can wear rockers and stuff.
Yeah. But that's a little bit different culture altogether.
But what about so a common question we get from prospects or that we're sponsoring is like, do I need to carry anything? What do I do? And you kind of learn it as you go. But there's the tired old carries a set of tampons with you, and some will know what that is about. But I don't know. Do you know what that's about?
I'm going to have you share this. Yeah.
So I've heard
it's
kind
we
of
don't do this, but
I don't know necessarily the history behind it, but I know that it was always carry a set of tampons because they're great for plugging up bullet holes. So,
right.
That's kind of like the joke one. Nowadays, I'm sure there's some clubs that might actually it might be serious, but a lighter, pad and paper, or pen and paper.
Yeah.
Is important. Just some things like it's kind of like the Boy Scouts to the extreme, because you're there to learn, you're there to absorb, but you're also there and you're doing a job in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So anything that you specifically stands out for you?
All of that's true. We have our club history. We have that written. Yeah. So we actually do expect our prospects to learn that, and they've got their prospecting period to know it front and back, because we do actually question them.
Yeah.
When we have our prospects and they're ready they're nearing the time when it's ready to be patched into our club. We have a series of protocols that we go through. So all our prospects will have a sponsor, and that sponsor is there to guide them and mentor them and teach them along along the way, so they understand our club rules, how to interact with other clubs, and know the whole language of the world that we operate in, and whether they're new to being a club member or not. It's learning all these little ropes because every club is different, right? So the sponsor will work with the prospect to help them that, but it's also the sponsor's role to teach them on everything from club history to what is expected of them while they're prospecting. That's their job, right? So we do give everybody a set of rules. As we get a lot closer to voting them in, we'll give them a set of bylaws. There are some things that prospects are not privy to, so they're not privy to certain when we have church, when we have our club meetings, there's information on the financial elements of the club. None of that is ever made access to them until they patch in. Then they're a member, right? But we do give them some other things other than a set of patches. But a lot of it is just as a prospect, you have to go into this with an open mind and be prepared to learn a lot. We had a prospect not long ago who loved to apologize for everything, right? It was like he would say something and he'd be really long-winded on something and he'd be like, "I'm really, really sorry." It's like, "I don't have to apologize for everything, but learn the lesson in this," right?
One thing we do tell the prospects and give them is this YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
Really, truly,
Hit that thumbs up and the bell, please. It helps a lot. Sorry.
No, that's great.
Shameless
please
plug.
like and subscribe to our channel.
But we do. I mean, as this is a new thing, we've actually said, "Hey, prospect, go check this out. You're going to learn. We're going to tell you this anyway, so might as well watch it in a video."
And there's truth to that. And there's, in addition to ours, there are other YouTube channels that are also very valuable. And so, before we started our channels a couple months ago, I used to refer some of our prospects to some of the other YouTube channels,
definitely.
And some are better than others. But there's good information out there. Sometimes conflicting information, so you got to pick and choose a little bit.
I'll also defer them to any kind of site or link to knowledge and culture, history of motorcycle clubs, because that's the framework why we're here, and I think it's important they understand that. So again, trying to keep that tradition going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
But bottle openers, koozies,
right? Yeah, any of those kind of things.
Just aspirin's another good example.
Bottles
and then
of water,
as clubs. As you prospect longer, you'll start to actually get your own little prospecting kit, because you'll see like maybe certain members, I don't know, like a certain kind of cigarettes or whatever, and you'll start to learn that, and that shows initiative and motivation, and that just makes you a better prospect.
Or even like if you have a clubhouse, which we do, we have a bar there, so when they start to learn what people's favorite drinks are, we do poker night, every once a month, and so we have, it's always great when I can sit there and we're playing cards, and my prospect walks over and he's got exactly what I want, it's like, you got to like that, right? And it scores points,
exactly. So I mean, it's not a huge list of what you give prospects, but it's an important thing, because coming from the film world, I've worked on a lot of movie sets, and it's almost a similar hierarchy. I'm sure you start down, like say as a production assistant, you work your way up to camera assistant, and eventually maybe you want to become like a director of photography. When I was camera assistant, it was kind of like you're that prospect to the camera operator or the DP, and
it's like an apprenticeship, basically.
And so I would actually go the further length. Instead of just doing my job, I would go the further length. I had aspirin on me. I had cell phone chargers, so because it never fails, when the DP should be filming, he's just on his phone, so it's always dying. Did I say aspirin? Anything like that, where then if they need it, then they're like, oh, I'm going to hire that guy again, Well,
it's that mentality, and it's that going above and beyond, and it's what makes you,
Would you suggest, how about something a prospect could carry on his bike? Anything you can suggest for that?
I would always, we have a tail gunner who carries emergency, like a first aid kit, but it's always good when you have a prospect that does it. In this town, water is always a mandatory thing. We always have them usually carry like an emergency vessel of gas that they change out every couple of months, because I was on a ride one time, and like a moron, I ran out of gas, and I was coming back from Sturgis, and I could see the gas station. It was like a mile down the road, and I was like, in the middle of nowhere. And it was one of those, I'll make it to the next gas station, and now I'm running out of gas on the highway. So we poured, he had like a quart of gas on. Great, dump it in. And as I'm putting this in my tank, I'm like, when was the last time you changed this? He's like, about 6-8 months ago. And I'm like,
it's all slimy.
Oh my God. So I got to the gas station, chugged my way down there, but it took about two full 2 or 3 fill-ups before the bike finally reset. And it was like, it didn't like it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's like, emergency stuff like that.
Tools, maybe, in case something breaks. I mean, even to this day, I carry tools for Harley riders, because they break down more.
Well, I got news for you. I ride a Harley, right? And I carry my toolkit that I carry on my bike is half metric and half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I discovered. So my Harley's a 2023. Half the damn nuts and bolts on that thing are all and they told me at the dealer, like, be aware that there's a lot of metric stuff on this bike now. I was like, really? And so I had a wrench on something on the bike. I'm trying to remember what it was, but there were 2 nuts right next to each other. And one was a metric and one was a standard. I was like in shock at that.
Where's the world going?
I know, right? Well, opinions aside, but that's how bikes are. So you got to be prepared for that.
I remember one time I was prospecting going to Arizona Bike Week. The longest ride to Arizona, it's a 6-hour drive if you're just straight there.
But if it's
it took
hot,
us like 12 hours because first of all, we're riding and my old lady was falling in the car with the dog. And I'm in the back, right, just, doing my thing. And it wasn't even part of our group. His bike died on him, and so we pulled over to help him. And his friends just kept leaving him.
Really?
And so we pull, and he was running out of gas, and there was no gas station. So we kept siphoning gas out. We ended up tearing apart my old lady's car, taking the windshield wiper tubes to be able to siphon the gas.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah,
all right, that's creative.
Until this day, she doesn't have that tube still, but. We kept doing that, and it kept dying. And at one point, like our president had to chase the other guys. And I'm like, "Get your buddy here!" Like, we're not dragging him, but it took us 12 hours. But saying like things like that, like anything can happen on the road, right?
Yeah.
So just be prepared. It doesn't necessarily mean a specific tool or anything, but if you can be of assistance, that makes you go that much further.
It's scoring that much more points. And a lot of it is, the advantage to that is it's not just about being a nice guy or being, a slave to the club. A lot of it shows, like you said, commitment.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, is the more you do that and more people remember you doing those things, it's like now your 1-year prospecting period might be 10 months, right? Or if you're not doing any of that stuff, and we've had this happen too, where we've had club members they're great people, just not like what we're talking about. They're not overachievers. They're not like willing to help on everything. When we have an event, they're like late to show up, and they're not the ones that are setting tables up. Yeah. Now your 1-year prospecting period might be year and a half, right? So that happens too.
But just having some sort of kit, I think any prospect should have it. And the prospects can ask, like, what do you think I should carry on? Yeah. And your members will guide you. But I think those are some of the basics, like your basic things. What would you want to have on hand? But carry a little bit extra so you can offer it to others.
And also be willing to help other people too. We have. This doesn't come up a lot, but we have like our tail gunner, whoever our designated tail gunner, their job, we always tell them is if we're on the road and you see an individual person on a bike, and they're pulled over on the side of the road with no assistance, their responsibility is to pull over and help them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so we have that as like kind of a standing rule. Yeah. Because who would want to be that guy who's stuck on the side of the road?
That's a great example. I was coming back, I think, from an Arizona Bike Week one year, and I was by myself. And there was a dude on the side of the road, definitely the bike looked like he was not in distress, but the bike was. I pulled over and it just gave them, all they wanted was a bottle of water, and they had people coming to help them, and here in the desert, that goes miles. Oh, man. Another example, even if, some clubs don't allow prospects to ride with their cuts separate or on their own, but we've been, myself as a member, I've been riding along and we come across like a 1% club member that's just by himself and stranded. It's going to go a long ways if you got something that maybe you've learned from prospecting in your saddlebag to help them out. A battery charger, maybe it's a simple jump of a battery, and that'll win you a lot of brownie points.
Definitely.
So what do you guys think? Anything?
What should a prospect or be carrying with them on rides or help out to the club? Post it in the comments. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the basics on that. That was a pretty simple topic.
Fun topic, but a lighthearted topic, but an important one. So cool. Thanks for watching our video this week. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you more content and more videos coming down the pike. So be sure to do that. And let's do our traditional shot here at the end of our video. I'm commenting again. It's a Harley glass. If you could find victory ones, then I guess you'd get those too. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, peace.